We know that it's now time for Liz Truss to look for a new job. Nadine Dorries has been temping in Talk TV. And I suspect in time, Suella Braverman will also be in need of new employment. I think Suella Braverman could go into advertising. She could market her own moist wipes. Braverman's moist wipes. Clean up any mess. Because at the moment, she's going to have to clean up a mess that has just been put out by the Sun newspaper that she was in fact distributing information about the Liz Truss's new growth visa and how this would, well, what's a growth visa? Well, the growth visa was the secret something that would enhance Kwasi's perfect package. And it was really going to cut Britain's deficit by apparently £14 billion. And at the same time, I believe, well, the Sun is saying that the big row between Braverman and Liz Truss was that Braverman wanted to continue insisting that there would be no more big visas for 6 years, and the visa go slow would continue. This would apparently cost the UK £6 billion. In fact, I think, the whole visa go slow thing is something that was set in motion or set in demotion by Mrs. May all those years ago with the hostile environment. And visas have been squeezed out more slowly and more slowly as time has gone by. And the people particularly under that squeeze are those involved in getting education here, who we have treated appallingly for year after year, certainly more than 15 years. We've treated them appallingly. And, well, there we are, sacking luscious Suella Braverman Braverman. She could not resist gossiping about the growth visa and, like Liz Truss, of course, about the perfect package that Kwasi Kwarteng had introduced to our government. Now, how could she resist? How could she resist leaking about such a secret growth formula? And that this was, this is the conjecture, that this was the subject of Suella's midnight email to her mentor. It's like finding yourself in a position where you've got to start inspecting your teenage child's tablet for inappropriate imagery. And here we've got a minister of the Crown sending potentially a dodgy email to John Hayes, who himself has links to an energy trading company, to a Saudi education company. Was he supposed to, in some form, benefit from this dodgy email? Who knows? Anyway, Pat McFadden, who's a shadow Treasury minister, asked the Prime Minister on Friday for clarification whether Braverman's indiscretion could impact in some way on the OBR forecast, which is due, or decisions that the government plans to take for the autumn statement that's now postponed. Sunak, if he's not careful, will end up having to do one of two things. He will end up having to explain what was leaked, or to defend Braverman and insist that she has not in any way undermined the Office of Budget responsibility, and that she has promised never to leak again. Oh, actually, he has done precisely that, hasn't he? I fear, however, that latter position, what he's already done, is a pie crust promise. The sort of thing that Mary Poppins would have said is a pie crust promise, easily made, easily broken. And she has a demonstrably, she has a really bad case of ministerial incontinence sewn into her ministerial office. It's part of her job description, I fear, and she has embraced it with aplomb. More than that, this whole fiasco demonstrates that if Suella Braverman Braverman can get away with a potential leak, if she can leak with moist abandon, then so can anyone else, whether she's leaked or not. Whether she is as dry as a bone or whether she is dripping, it doesn't matter. The imagery that's coming across is that she has behaved inappropriately and gotten away with it, to use an American grammatical term. She is successful. And I think that's an image that Rishi should not be encouraging if he wants control and if he wants to promote the idea that his government is transparent. Suella Braverman Braverman is the last person he wants to have in office at his side. Rishi needs someone to give him advice. He doesn't have someone to give him advice. He needs someone to hide behind. And if he can't get good advice, then he really needs to find a good ethics advisor that he can hide behind. I don't think that's the same thing. I think he needs his own Ingrams. And I don't know where he's going to find that person. And as I say, if he can't find that person, he better get somebody who's got some sort of moral compass, and he can blame that person or eventually fire them. Because he can't go it alone any longer. He's making too many mistakes, and he's being used by too many people. It no longer matters now whether Suella Braverman or Braverman has leaked or has not leaked. The impression is she is as incontinent as Niagara. And that gives other people an opportunity.